Bonjour and welcome to the Tarot of Claude. Today I'm going to be doing a tarot reading for mid-October for the sign of Pisces. The energies will apply until the end of the month. I'm going to draw two oracle deck cards and then I will go into more depth in the message with my tarot deck. I hope you're doing well. These are general readings, so take what applies to your situation and discard the rest. If you want a fuller picture, or if you feel that this did not resonate with you at all, feel free to have a look at your moon, rising and Venus sign. So what energies do we have for the last 2 weeks of October? I know the lighting is terrible, there's lots of shadows, but I don't have any blinds, so I'll make sure I show you the cards up close so you don't miss out. Okay, so your first energy is the energy of ritual, and it says, can you feel them? Wild creatures linked by the very blood you will spill into your craft. A ritual of dedication to self and those whose gazes hold fire, but whose whispers carry you softly through the unknown. That's your first energy. And your second energy is rooted. And it reads, may you never tear the living ritual that is magic merged within the roots of your being, the soil of your soul. Okay, now the first thing I notice is that you've got card 33 followed by card 34. Now my deck is thoroughly shuffled and pre-shuffled before I film. So there is an expansion, like a leveling up happening in the card already. 33, master number, but you can also add it up to number 6. 6 is the number of harmony, and 34 equals 7. 7 is a highly spiritual number. It is also the number of experience. So the card of ritual, this one here, which I love this deck, I think it's a very, very pretty card, is asking you to show up for daily things. So, you know, I don't know about you, but I have a morning ritual. It is nothing special, it's just wake up, my husband goes and brings me a lovely cup of coffee, and we're both in bed with our coffee and we discuss whatever it is we're looking at, whether we're watching YouTube or the news, depending. And we spend half an hour like this in the morning before going to shower and getting ready for the day. And it's a very important moment for us. And if we don't have time to do this in the morning, it unsettles us. So this is something I take a conscious pleasure. I'm present in the moment. I'm not just there and daydreaming. And this card is about doing things like this, having little rituals, being present in the moment, and all of this can be achieved by being grounded. Rooted is basically being grounded, because if inside you feel unstable, and what I mean by that is maybe not so safe, that means that your root chakra is unbalanced, and a way to settle all of this and to feel better is to ground yourself. Now, to ground myself, I love going on walks in parks and in forests because I live in town and I miss nature. I find that very, very energizing, but also it clears my head, and suddenly things that worried me before don't seem as important in the grand scheme of things, because it helps me get my priorities right and realize that I'm lucky to be alive and well, and then I get, I don't know, that clarity that helps me move forward. And so what I'm getting from your two energies for this month is that you need to work on being more present, and on your root chakra, on feeling safe and stable. And maybe you need to go out a bit more. Maybe you've not had time to do a bit of self-care, and give yourself 20 minutes to go and walk in a park as close to your house as possible. If you have a busy schedule, I'm aware it's not always possible to do things like that. And if you do have the time, you know, at the weekend, just go on a long walk in the forest, and this will help you. So let's have a look at the message a little bit more closely. You may want to make going on a walk part of your weekly ritual. So for instance, I walk every day. I have to walk my dogs, should I say, I've got 4, because we live in town, and so part of my ritual is my afternoon walk with them. So that may be something that you may have to put into your weekly schedule to help you stay grounded. It's so easy to lose sight of the important things when we're leading a very busy life with all of the worries and the speed of it. So okay, so you get the High Priestess, the Sun, the Lovers. Wow, 3 major arcana right next to each other. Okay. Then you get the Hierophant, that's another major arcana, the 5 of Wands, and the 7 of Swords. Okay, you have 4 cards out of 6 who are major arcana. So we are dealing with very important energies into your life. The minor arcana represents more of the everyday life kind of thing. When you get major arcana, you know we're talking about something very important. Okay, so you get the High Priestess. Now the High Priestess is all about intuition. She gets her wisdom through her intuition and messages. She has insights. She represents your subconscious. The second card that was pulled was the Sun. Now the Sun is the best card in the deck. It's the card that brings you warmth, energy, positivity, and even if there were anything negative in the reading, it kind of wipes it because the Sun's energy is more powerful. And it's a card of positive outcome. It's really nice. It's also a card of playfulness, you know, enjoying life, little pleasures, that kind of thing. The Lovers is the card of decision, making a decision. Yes, it could be about a relationship, but it represents a choice, but an important choice in your life. Then on the side here you have the Hierophant. Okay, too close. The 5 of Wands, and the 7 of Swords. Okay, so the first thing I've noticed when I laid the cards down, if I'm honest, is that you have 2 5s next to each other. 5s are a number of challenges and change, and the Hierophant is it can be guidance, so divine guidance, universal guidance, depending on what you believe. But in a more practical way, it represents big institutions, and it can be big companies, big corporate, because you think about in terms of medieval times, you had the king and then you had the church basically, and so they had a lot of power. The 5 of Wands is wands are your desire, your spirit, what drives you, and the 5 of Wands talks about overcoming challenges and focusing on your main objective. Some people call it the discord card. I don't agree. I read like a Tarot de Marseille reader, so more on numerology. So it's about a change, a passionate change, And yeah, it's about focusing on your objective. The Seven of Swords, 7 is a number of experience. I hope you can see it. Yeah. 7 is the number of experience. It's made up of stagnant and moving energies, so 4 being stagnant and 3 being dynamic, expansive. So the seven of Swords, again, in the Rider-Waite, people tend to look at it as the betrayal card. In the Tarot de Marseille, and if you think about numerology and what numbers mean, it talks about having some sharpness, a focused and determined attitude, doing what it takes to get the job done, basically. And if you think about it, in the Rider-Waite, it's a man with a few swords in his hands, and there's 2 on the side that he can't take, but he seems pretty determined to, you know, get them all. So that's how I look at it. So when I think about this reading, which talks about, you know, having rituals and staying grounded, I think this is going to have a very deep impact in your life, and you're being called to listen to your intuition with the High Priestess, because this is going to have a very benefit. Oh God, I'm sorry, I can't talk today. It's going to have a very beneficial effect on your life if you listen to that inner guidance, which will come through if you are grounded and you spend some time on self-care and allow yourself to have this time to reflect. And it will help you make a very important decision in your life. Now, the decision, and this is going to be a very specific message for some people, could be about a marriage, because the Hierophant card can also represent marriage. So it could be about a marriage that's undergone some changes, and you're determined to make a decision either way. It could also be about work. In other words, you've been employed in a big company and they're undergoing some changes, maybe some reshuffle of the senior leadership and all of the jobs and things like that, and you need to make up your mind and have have the experience and all the facts in your hands to be able to make that decision that the lovers are asking you to make when it comes to your job. So as I said, it could be to do with a job, it could be to do with a marriage, but all of this, in order to get through this, in order to make an informed decision, you need to be present in the moment and ground yourself. Now remember, we all have free wills, and these are just energies that are around you at this 2-week period of time that I'm talking about. And every thought that you have and every action you take will have an impact on what's happening. So I can only read what's happening at the moment, but I really hope that you found this helpful. I hope you enjoyed your journey through the cards with me. I also offer daily readings, which are a bit more in depth because I use a 21 card spread. So if you enjoyed this, by all means feel free to check those out. I am very grateful for you choosing to spend some time on my channel. I hope to see you again soon, and until next time, au revoir.